Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
Alright, I know it's been a minute since we've talked about the Pels on this channel, but boy, they didn't give us anything to talk about. Now, we have something to talk about, and man, Dumars, we can talk about that Indiana trade a little bit later in this video, but we're going to talk about the trade that just went happen. Kind of a blockbuster, at least for the Pelicans' sake. This will be a blockbuster trade for us. So the Saints trade CJ McCollum, which everybody was hoping for, everybody was wishing for. CJ McCollum is finally off the books for the Pelicans, and Kelly Olynyk are both gone. Future second round pick for Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the number 40 pick in the draft. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to give this trade an A+ for Joe Dumars. A+ plus for Joe Dumars, man. You get rid of CJ McCollum, who had to go this year, man. It just honestly had to go. He's not a terrible player, but you just had to get rid of CJ McCollum. It just wasn't working out. He's just not going to be in your future plans with the Pelicans. So you had to get him off the books. You had to move him, and you trade for Kelly Olynyk, who could come in and play well for a team. He just wasn't going to be a fit with the Pels as well. A future second round pick, and you get Jordan Poole back, who obviously has all the potential in the world. Didn't have the greatest year last year, but obviously we saw what he did with the Warriors. He can shoot the ball. He can play make. He can be a point guard. He can be a two guard. You need a guy like that on the roster, especially with DeJounte Murray going to be hurt. To start the year coming off a major injury. That's a guy that you needed, to have next year. You really had no true ball handler, somebody can create, somebody that can pass, somebody that can score from that guard position. So now you kind of add that onto the roster, so that's a really good move. And Saddiq Bey, I'm a Nova fan. So I know all about Saddiq Bey. He comes from the same cloth. He's got the same type of guys Mikal Bridges is, a long guy, shoot the three, play defense. He's obviously not as good as Mikal Bridges, but he's that same build, that same mold, that same type of guy. So that's a really good trade from Joe Dumars. And man, we'll just take a look at some guys. And now I guess we'll dive into Jordan Poole first. Just look at his career stats, what he did last year, what he did a couple years with the Wizards. Like I said, didn't have the greatest year last year, still averaged 20 points per game. Shot 88% from the free throw line. That's obviously really good. 51% from the two. 3-point percentage, 37, almost 38%. That means it's really good. Only shot 43% from the field. Now, that's not terrible. High volume shooter. He's got to get that up just a tad bit. But he takes a lot of threes, so that percentage is going to, drop a little bit. He's almost taking 10 threes a game. So, I mean, like that's, you can't be mad at that. The last year with the Wizards, he averaged, 41%. 17 points per game, only 4.4 assists, 2.7 rebounds. Didn't shoot the ball as well from 32%. But this past year, he finally he was thrown into a role, thrown into a team that he probably didn't expect to be there. Obviously, we know what happened with that Draymond situation. So he was drawn into the Wizards. Obviously, an awful team, man. Awful franchise in general. So he struggled his first year. So to show me the jump from his first year to second year with the Wizards, that does show me a lot of promise. That does make me feel good about the potential, about the growth of his career. Obviously, still a very young player, 25 years old, man. 2 years ago, everybody in the NBA was wanting Jordan Poole. 2 years ago, every team in the NBA was wanting Jordan Poole after what he was doing with the, Golden State Warriors. Everybody thought he was going to be next up, the third splash brother, all this type of nonsense. So I am really excited to get Jordan Poole on the Pelicans roster. This is just, like I said, a really good trade for the Pelicans. Trying to look up Saddiq Bey. Maybe we can pull it up here. Yeah, so Saddiq Bey, 4 years in the league, only 24 years old. With Atlanta, didn't really play much, but when he did, look, rookie of the year voting, he finished fourth his rookie year, averaged 12 points, basically 4.5 rebounds, 1.4 assists in Detroit. Then he averaged 16 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 13 points, 14 points, 11 points. Really didn't play much last year. But when he's out there, obviously he's really good. Shot 35% from three in his career. Highest was rookie year, 38%. So like I said, the guy can play basketball. From Villanova, I'm a Villanova fan. I've seen it. He's really good. Can shoot the three. Like I said, tall guy, about 6'7", 6'8". Can be on the wing. Can play kind of the three. Small ball four if you need him to. Can slide to the two as well if you need him to. Guard skills isn't as as good as Bridges or something like that. But this is a really good player. Like I said, I'm a Villanova fan. I've watched this guy. And he can play basketball. You need good basketball players. The one thing that Villanova did well, and why all the Villanova players are successful in the NBA, is because they play good basketball, man. Most of those guys are just really, really good basketball players. They understand how to move without the ball. They understand, you know, how to, just the small things, set screens, box out, movement, where to be on defense. Villanova and Jay Wright taught that well to those guys. So, man, I'm really, really excited about this trade. I have no complaints on what just happened. Now, shout out to CJ, though, man. It wasn't all bad with CJ, man. You know, he was really good for the franchise. He kind of kept us, I don't want to say relevant, but, you know, when Zion was down, he kind of played. You know, B.I. was down, he played. So I can't put, you know, a lot of fault on CJ. It was just time to move on from CJ. So this just put the Pels in a really, really good spot. This is a really, really good trade after the Indiana mishaps. We could talk about the Indiana pick, I guess, now. It was zero reason we should have traded off next year Indiana's pick for the 23rd pick in the draft. Now, obviously, if Halliburton doesn't get hurt, then it doesn't matter. But now Halliburton, who's going to be out for the season, now that Pacers pick is a toss-up. Do I think it'll be a top 10 pick? No. Do I think the Pacers can make the playoffs? Even though Halliburton's hurt? Probably. So they still got Nembhard. They still got Naismith. They still got CJ McCollum. They still got Ben McThorne. So yeah, they're going to still have guys that can probably carry them to the playoffs along with Siakam and Turner and things like that. But would you rather have that Pacers pick? Or would you rather have that 23rd pick in the draft this year? But, so that's just a mishap. That's Dumars. He jumped the gun on that, especially because Halliburton had a calf strain. If Halliburton didn't have a calf strain and then he somehow blew out his Achilles, I wouldn't be mad at that trade at all. But Indiana obviously knew it was a risk playing Halliburton. It was a risk that he had that calf strain. It was a risk playing him. So their GM got on the phone and said, hey, can we get our pick back? And we're foolish enough to fall for it. So he gets a D for that trade and he gets an A+ for that trade. So off to an up and down start for Dumars. This trade I love. This trade I absolutely love, man. No complaints, like I said, on this trade. This is really, really good. This is top tier GM skills. David Griffin would have never done anything like this because he was just a man sleep at the wheel. He was a man sleep at the wheel. And at least Joe Dumars is waking this shit up. He's waking it up. He's waking it up out here. So, man, this is good. You got Trey Murphy. You got Saddiq Bey. You got Zion. You got something to work with right now. You got the number 23 pick in the draft. You got the number 7 pick in the draft. You also just added the number 40th pick in the draft. You can add those picks up, man. You can add those picks up and, man, you might be able to work with something. You might be able to work with something. You can combine those 3 picks and try to make a splash into that top 5. It's a lot you can do. The Pelicans have options. I'm back in. I like it. The new regime got me back in. I'm back in. We're locked in on this Pels team. And finally, I made another Pels video. And look, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I love the Pels, love the Saints, I love LSU, but the Pels wasn't talking about shit. Let's be honest. The Pels wasn't on shit. Pels wasn't talking about shit. I'll just watch those games, not make a video because it just wasn't worth my time. Franchise wasn't worth my time. Now, Willie Green is still the coach of this team, so don't get our hopes too high. Let's not get the hopes too high. But he got no excuses. I'll tell you that much. He got no excuses. I wish we could have thrown him in a trade. But look, he's going to be our coach, so I'm going to rock with him for the moment being. And we'll see how it goes. But man, let me know what y'all think about this trade in the comments below, man. Finally, a Pels video back. But this is the Boot Tragedies, man. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. It's the Boot Tragedies.